Your life is not a bunch of roses, bowl of cherries. It's the most thing in your life is suffering, being criticized by the people who choose to remain the same, who can't help being the same. But you, being like them, have trouble. And you seek out the answer not to be like them. And the answer not to be like them is to forgive them. But then you can't forgive. You haven't got the power to forgive. You're not God. God forgives. If you forgive, you give people a pass. It means you got upset and you feel guilty and you want to go along to get along to make sure you did the right thing. And you give them the benefit of the doubt when you shouldn't have. You were right all along, you got beaten for it. But then you got beaten for it, you'd be upset. When you're upset, you feel guilty. When you feel guilty, you actually make up to the bully. So you end up loving your bully, and they know it. The socialists know that they can make you love the bully and enjoy loving them.
Is there a difference? Like, you know, if somebody does you wrong, I say forgive them, but basically, no. I mean, what I'm thinking is just forget about it. I mean, where do I go there?
No, you haven't got it right. Yeah, hold on to it. Hold on to it. We're going to talk. If you do not judge, if I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you are objective to thought, looking at what's going past this bandstand of your mind, and say, oh, I never saw that before. You have a little thing going on where your mind is talking to you and going cyclic. It's a cycle of round and round, endless loop of thoughts. Some of those thoughts are valuable that you never saw before. Of myself I can do nothing would be one of them. All of a sudden I can give you new meaning to that, or it could on your own have new meaning. Oh, you mean to say I can't change my thoughts? Well, then you can read in the book, you were forgiven before you were born. Jesus forgave you. He came to give his life some way, so he left behind some gift. If you understand what forgiveness is, God forgives you. Then you pass it on. Until you are forgiven, you cannot forgive. And when you forgive, you're not passing judgment. So your forgiveness is never to pass judgment, which means I see what's wrong with that person, but I'm not resentful towards them.
That was what I was going to say, resentful. You're not forgiving them until you stop resenting them.
Well, you don't need to, well, if you don't resent them and judge them.
Yeah.
So remember, you have a gift to see right from wrong. Your skill, your gift is to realize that of themselves they can do nothing any more than you could do. Your mother could no more help herself what she did as you can help yourself what she did to you after she did it to you. She cannot help but do to you what was done to her. So if you can look at your mother and see that forgive them, Father, say, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. There's meaning buried in that. There's code buried in it. And so when you are objective to your thoughts, God speaks to you without words. It gives you an aha. I see. There's something in me that holds on to the judgment, because judgment is mine, saith the Lord. I will pay back. So if you hold on to the judgment, you get worse.
About yourself.
Yeah.
Your judgment.
You judge, but then the judgment causes things to go wrong inwardly and more outwardly. So you got more to judge, and you projecting the judgment as if it was their fault. So your children look like their problems and disrespectful when you are disrespectful. See that? Yeah. Got that? So, yeah.
Well, like when somebody's like putting their will upon you, that's kind of where I...
Well, will being willful. Yeah. But the point is, when you're willful, you are responding to a will, and you do not have the will of God. You respond to the will of the willer. When somebody puts their will upon you, they use a force. It's called impatience, contempt. And so, but that contempt towards a beautiful child is seen for the cruelty for what it is. The child takes offense and resents a parent who's angry, frustrated, taking his anger out on the little child. The little child knows more about right and wrong than the parent. Little children know right from wrong more so than a 90-year-old person. 90-year-old people are mostly not noble if they're smart, they're just careful. Not the same as being virtuous. I'm not careful. See, there's virtue here. I'm not here to put you down. I'm here to warn you, admonish you of your faults. The enemy doesn't warn you of your faults. It exploits them. And when it gets inside, it still plays with you. Now, you don't clear your thoughts. There's no need for that. Very dangerous to try to clear your thoughts. Stupid to clear your thoughts. Let your thoughts run. Stand back, watch them. And a meditation exercise is designed only for you to stand back from the thought, but when you stand back from the thought, you are stepping closer to God.
Roy, I have a question about the meditation. Like, I meditated and then my whole body, like, one side started shaking.
Left side.
Yeah, and then the right started shaking a little bit, and I just sat there and watched it, but it was like, yeah, and it went away.
Yeah, that's all you do.
Okay. Because it's just like, I was like shaking away.
But do you understand this? Forget the shaking away. Just keep on subject. Keep on target. Of yourself, if you don't get tempted to interfere, in a sense, to try to fix yourself by effort.
Like, try to stop try to control it.
But of yourself, you can do nothing. You are a slave of this system, of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your want-tos or not want-tos. You are completely controlled, but you don't know it. You think you're free, but the only freedom you've got is the freedom from knowing that you're a slave. See? So, with that understanding, with that little tiny piece of understanding, you're saved. You just have to keep it in mind when things happen. They happen to you to test your fidelity. If you respond angrily, if you forget yourself, that person owns you. Or people own you. If it isn't that person, a little bit of him and more of somebody else. And more of somebody else, and more and more and more, until the government owns you. And the drug pusher owns you, and the doctor owns you. And there's nobody can fix you.